Hello. I think we're back on. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Yep, I see Dee Dee. Hi, Dee Dee. What a great first episode of This and That. I'm so honored that Liz and Jen let us host that. That was so cool. Thank you guys. Again, Liz and Jen are on Venmo. Liz-Pelly and I believe Jen-Pelly. Really important conversations to be having about what we're all doing right now, how we're dealing with this. It's hard for me to even think about the election without becoming incredibly frustrated. I'm sure for most of us, just trying to deal with surviving and living on the day-to-day is a lot in and of itself. How is everybody doing? Are you checking in with yourself? I was thinking yesterday as I was first reading those headlines about 82,000 people in our country being confirmed with coronavirus. I think that number's now jumped to 105,000. Just how much rage and sadness I feel about how we got here, how many decades of incompetence, greed, a lot of horrible things led to this. And I'm still all for campaigning for Bernie Sanders and trying to get him elected. I don't know if it's possible the way that the DNC has so blocked all of the work his campaign has done and insisted upon Joe Biden as the candidate. That's terrifying. Obviously, I will vote for him if I have to. I really hope somebody can get Trump out of office. But I did really appreciate what Ryan Grimm said at the end of his book that came out this past year, Weve Got People. It's an incredible book. If you don't know it, look it up. It's a history of the Democrats for the last 50 years. Really, really excellent information about how the Democrats got to this point. I think for people my age, most people who kind of lean to the left tend to be frustrated with establishment electoral politics because we've lived our whole lives seeing them lie about going to war and saying one thing on the campaign trail and then backtracking on that later on. But maybe for older people, they still see voting as the only way forward. The book by Ryan Grimm is great. I really recommend it. And towards the end, he had this passage talking about how important it is to get Donald Trump out of office and how if we elect someone who isn't the real deal, who isn't going to bring us healthcare for all, who isn't going to make fast movements on reversing climate change, who isn't going to do sweeping prison reform, it's just somebody who isn't the real deal. What we could actually fall into is a trap with somebody who could maybe open the door to further fascism. I mean, Trump is incompetent, obviously, and I think some people might argue with the idea that Biden could make things worse, but I thought he presented a credible argument for that because a lot of times in the past when somebody a little bit to the left or a centrist is in office, people are kind of like, well, we got Obama in there, or, I guess it was Clinton in the 90s. People were like, great, we're good. We're not good. We're not good. I don't think anybody needs to be reminded of that right now. But I guess all I'm saying is all we have is really each other. We should try to be working to get the best person in office, but at the end of the day, I have to take care of myself, and I have to take care of you, and you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of me, and we have to have that mentality towards each other moving forward and to everybody else. I think there's often a real fear of how interconnected we are, and we have to try to work past that fear and understand that interdependence is really our strength. I know we're running behind on schedule here, but I just wanted to once again talk about some groups all over the country that are doing really important work right now. There's a great website called bigdoorbrigade.com. It's a really good mutual aid resource website. There's another website, a pretty left-leaning site called itsgoingdown.org. They have a really great COVID-19 specific resource website right now. itsgoingdown.org/C19-mutual-aid. A lot of great organizations on there. And then just to run through some region-specific stuff. A lot of times if you just do a little bit of Googling, you can find a little bit of what you're looking for. In Los Angeles, I believe there's a GoFundMe for LA Mutual Aid. Just Google Los Angeles Mutual Aid Fund. There's a really awesome Google Doc some people have been putting together in New York called New York United Against Coronavirus. That might also take a little bit of Googling, but it's there. It's an open Google Doc that you can look at. It has resources for childcare right now, for grocery delivery, food donations if you want to help, bail fund stuff. The way that COVID-19 is affecting our prison population is, if you think that the powers that be are being monstrous with us, like, the stuff that's going on in our prisons right now is just unconscionable. Not to mention work with homelessness all over the place, but you especially see that in Los Angeles. Anyway, New York United Against Coronavirus, it's a Google Doc, look it up. In Washington State, there's the Tacoma Mutual Aid. That is very cool. In the Bay Area, there's a group called West Coast Punks with Lunch. That is cool. There's a lot of kids who rely on going to school to get their meal for the day. And if they're not in school right now, it's hard for them to eat lunch. So there's a lot of people putting work into that. Colorado, the Denver Service Works Solidarity Group. I wrote these down very quickly, so I might not be reading that right. A lot of service workers who don't have any income right now. It sucks. In Michigan, shout out to Michigan, my home state, there's a really cool interactive map of a lot of different groups doing work on michiganradio.org. You can look at that and scroll over this. Lots of good stuff all over the place. Last thing I want to mention right now, the activist Miriam Kaba. She's prison cultured on Twitter. One of my favorite working activists and thinkers. She is just a really stellar human being, and she's organized a huge redistribution mutual aid fund. I think I've seen some stuff online about how PayPal's actually frozen a lot of the funds right now, which is weird, but if you can follow her on Twitter. I believe her account is locked right now, but if you follow her, she'll accept it. She's just got a lot of great ideas. Just think about that whenever you're getting a little freaked out or stressed out. You're not powerless. You are a human being with agency, and you're very capable of taking care of yourself, and you're very capable of reaching out to others for help in areas where you need help. And you're very capable of helping other people. I think that really gets me through sometimes when I'm feeling freaked out and overwhelmed right now, is just thinking about the fact that, like, other people need me, I need other people, and this is a great time to get in touch with that. Last thing I want to shout out right now is just for some self-care stuff. Yoga with Adriene is an amazing YouTube channel. I don't know who Adriene is, but I think she's got like 1 million subscribers now. She gives all these free classes on her YouTube. It is such a great way to still be able to move your body and feel good while you're stuck in the house. Yoga with Adriene on YouTube. It's great. I see my parents being like, we love what you're saying. Thanks, guys. And finally, I've gotten really into meditation in the last couple of months, which is one of the only other ways that I think I have stayed sane through this. Really recommend meditation. In the past, I used to be like, I'm just not going to be a meditator ever. I don't know, I think about too much stuff, or like, honestly, sometimes, especially now, I don't know if I should say this when my parents are watching, but it's really hard to meditate when you're just cooped up because, like, maybe you just get really horny while you're sitting there. It happens. But meditating, or trying to, is a great way to stay healthy. There's a video, I think I put it on my Twitter maybe a week ago, but Yonggi Rinpoche, if I'm saying his name right, leads a really great 15-minute intro meditation on YouTube, guided meditation. But if you don't even want to do that, it's very simple. You just sit like this, you close your eyes, you set a timer on your phone for, I do 20 minutes. That might seem like a lot, but it's because I know that for a lot of that, I'm not going to be in the zone, clearing my head. A lot of that is going to be me like trying to get to that place. So, all right, I'm going to stop talking about meditating, but I think you should really try it. I'm not an expert. I can't teach it to you, but it's helped me tremendously right now.